Okay, well, I'll throw out 3 puzzles, all in varying orders of difficulty.
Oh, give us the easy one first. That's the only one we have a shot at. So.
Okay. Well, actually, and then sort of the medium one isn't really hard if you get it, but the easy one is you have 8 billiard balls. One of them is heavier than the other 7, and you have a level scale. The halls of justice kind of scales where you can weigh things against each other. And you can use that scale exactly twice. And you need to figure out which ball is heavier. And that really shouldn't take people too long, but it's kind of a nice little elegant solution. Another kind of problem, that certainly David and I have enjoyed talking about, are these kinds of questions that aren't necessarily even mathematical, but they're kind of outside the box thinking. And just sort of the simple question I'd pose is why are manhole covers round? Not the kind of thing you think about all the time, but there is a correct answer. And when you hit upon it, you'll realize that you're correct. Although there are a number of good answers, there is certainly one correct answer. And then I will give, this is a little bit complicated, but it's an absolutely fascinating problem. And I think it tells you a lot about numbers and math and probability, and has a couple actually wonderful solutions. Let's assume that there are n number of players that are going to play a game. So your solution is going to have to be able to work for any number of people playing a particular game. And these players are allowed to create a game strategy prior to starting the game. But once the game starts, they can't talk or communicate with each other in any way. They can't blink, they can't point, they can't arrange themselves in any way, they can't use a clock in any way. They are strictly prohibited from anything other than looking at each other. And basically what happens is these n number of players all walk into a room and they are given a hat. And on that hat is written a number from 0 to n-1. So if there are 5 players, they're all given a hat numbered from 0 to 4. But it's not like they each get one number. They could all get the number 3. All they know is they have a hat on, and it's between 0 and 4. This would be if 5 people were playing the game, for example. So they walk into the room, and they look at each other's hats. So all they know are the hats they're looking at. They know nothing about their own hat, and actually nothing that the other player's hats have on them could really ever tell them anything about their hat. But after looking at each other's hats, they all must simultaneously guess their own hat number.
So they can see the number on the other people's hats.
That's all they can, and they can't communicate in any way. But all they can do is look at their fellow players' hats numbers, and then simultaneously they must all guess. So there's no guessing strategy in terms of where one guy guesses and then another guy guesses, and they can come up with some type of strategy this way. All they can do is look at each other's hats, and then they all must guess. And what they need to achieve is a 100% probability that at least one player will get their hat number correct. Now, of course, if 5 people walk into a room and they could have one of 5 different hats, and they all were to randomly guess, on average, one player would get their hat right. You would agree with that,
right?
If 5 people have a chance at, a 1 in 5 chance. So their expectation is one correct answer, but they can use a strategy where they can guarantee that at least one of them will get it right every time they play the game.
Wow. Okay.
I was told there'd be no math.